after her diagnosis of cerebral palsy, as a young mom and parents, Tom and I wanted to take Emily to every doctor we could to have them tell us something that we wanted to hear, that Emily didn't have cerebral palsy. So we took her to Dayton Children's for an evaluation. They said she had cerebral palsy. We took her down to Cincinnati Children's for an evaluation, and they said she had cerebral palsy. So we took her back home to Indiana to Riley's Children's Hospital, and the doctor there was very thorough, but he was also very relational to Tom and I as parents. So after he did all his evaluations, he came back in the room holding Emily, sat down on his little black stool in his white medical coat, and rolled over to us and said, Emily has a 95% chance of never walking, but be thankful that you can have a relationship with her. Well, that just made me angry, so angry, which was the path of the next couple of years of me just being caught up in the anger stage of grief. But that doctor was so incredibly right that we could have a relationship with Emily. I was so angry, and we were definitely in need of help and assistance, and everybody kept saying, you should reach out to Johnny Erickson Tada's ministry in California. And I can exactly remember the day we were leaving Life Group, and we were walking out to our cars, and Dwayne said, Barb, have you reached out to Johnny's ministry yet? And I said, no, Dwayne, I have not. And he goes, well, can I do it on your behalf? And I, go ahead, Dwayne, contact that Johnny chick. I could care less. And we got in the car and went home. And a few weeks later, I get a newsletter from Johnny's ministry. So obviously Dwayne had sent in our address and signed us up. And I thought, just to get everybody off our backs, she's coming out with a new children's CD called Harps and Halos. So I ordered it for Emily because she loves music.
Right. So you thought that might be an encouragement to me, and you're also thinking, if I just order something from a catalog, I can finally tell everyone I contacted that Johnny chick. For my 5th birthday party, I decided to have it at Chuck E. Cheese, because what kid doesn't like oversalted pizza, overstimulation, and an oversized mouse, am I right? Well, at this 5th birthday party, I noticed that there were some big differences between me and my friends at the party. My friends could go run and jump on the ball pit or hop on the carousel, whereas I had to ask my daddy to hold me on the horse at the carousel, or for my Uncle Dave to go place me in the ball pit, or for my mom to cut up my pizza. I was watching Mom weed the garden, and all of a sudden this deep guttural sob of grief just burst forth out of me. And actually it was so sudden that you came running over thinking I was injured or there was something physically wrong with me. And I remember looking at you and saying, Mommy, my legs are useless. They're nothing but ornaments for you to put cute little frilly socks on. They serve no purpose at all. And you and Dad tried to hold me, comfort me, tell me we're going to figure this out together as a family, that Jesus loved me. And I knew all those things would be true deep in my heart. But as much as I could, my 5-year-old self just needed to grieve. Because I remember thinking, I know I was only 5, but I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I will never drive a car. I will never know what it's like to climb a tree. I'm never going to dance on my own 2 feet at my wedding. Oh dear Lord, is this what my life is going to be? I don't want this. No. So Daddy would call every day during this 3-day crying cycle, because I would wake up crying and then literally spend the whole day crying till I cried myself to sleep, quite literally. And then Daddy would call Mom before he left for work, because this was before cell phones, and say, is Em still crying? Yep, Em's still crying. Okay, I'll be home soon. And I can't imagine what a weight that was for you to carry as parents. But during that interlude in between Daddy calling and coming home, the children's CD, Harps and Halos, by Johnny Erickson Tada, arrived in the mail, and this is the 3rd day of my crying spree. So Mom sees this Harps and Halos CD, and she's like, oh great, music has always encouraged Emily. let me go put this in the CD player. Hello, 90s, how are you? And maybe this will help. And Mom put it in the CD player and went back to washing the dishes. And she goes to turn it off in horror. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But I said, no, Mommy, no, don't turn it off. Listen. This body isn't all there is. I have a message in my brokenness. I can share about Jesus. I won't be stuck in this body forever. Someday I'll be in heaven having a party with my best friend Jesus. And those hope-giving lyrics were, some people think I'll spend forever pushing on the grass, but I believe I have a date to leave this earth at last. This graveyard is just a place to hang since I will sleep to dry. I'll have a brand new body. I'll spread my wings and fly. Gonna live forever. Gonna be with Jesus, the King of my heart.
And that convicted me at my very core that heaven is real, and that my hope isn't about the things of this earth or what Emily can or cannot do, but my hope is in my relationship with Jesus Christ and the eternal hope of heaven, that this life we have is just temporary. And so I immediately got on my knees in the living room and surrendered my life to Christ. I was in a relationship with Christ, but I wasn't sold out, surrendered to him. And that began my healing phase with my anger as well.
Yeah, the real life worth living is the one found in heaven. This life on earth is important too, but it's just a practice run for the eternal life we have in heaven with Jesus.